When we think of academic integrity and ethics in academic writing, the first thing that comes to our mind is plagiarism. What is plagiarism? Is the act of presenting the words, ideas, images, sounds, or the creative expression of others as your own. Another definition of plagiarism is it is the act of stealing someone else's work and attempting to pass it off as your own. This can apply to anything from term purpose to photographs to songs, even ideas. How bad is plagiarism? Yes, plagiarism is the theft of intellectual property. Plagiarism is cheating. Plagiarism may result in receiving a failing grade or 0 for the assignment. Plagiarism could result in disciplinary actions. Students caught plagiarizing may be denied admittance to further academic courses. People have lost their positions and honor because of plagiarism. There are two types of plagiarism. One is intentional, the other is unintentional. Under intentional, copying a friend's work, doing friend's homework, buying or borrowing papers, cutting and pasting blocks of text from electronic sources without documenting them, media borrowing without documentation, etc. are all intentional plagiarism. Whereas careless paraphrasing, poor documentation, quoting excessively, failure to use your own ideas, all these are unintentional plagiarism. When we adopt ideas from others, we do it in three ways. They are quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing. Quoting. Quotations are the exact words of an author copied directly from a source, word for word, and hence quotations must be cited. While quoting, people copy as such and it is called as verbatim copying. Verbatim or copying as such from the source. In such situation, you have to put the copied content in double inverted commas and provide in-text citation. If the number of words in the copied content goes beyond 39 words, it should be converted as a block quote with the in-text citation. Paraphrase. Writing in your own language. Paraphrasing is restating text, giving the meaning in another form. You paraphrase when you use text written by another person. Rewrite the text in your own words. Paraphrasing shows that you have read and understood the original text rather than repeating it word for word. In such situation, you have to put the copied content with the in-text citation. No need of inverted commas. Do I have to cite everything? The answer is no. If something you write is common knowledge, you need not provide citation. If you are doing in-text citations, you don't have to cite facts that are widely known or information or judgments considered common knowledge. Mahatma Gandhi is considered as father of our nation. The Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. These are actually common knowledge. If you see a fact in 3 or more sources and you are fairly certain your readers already know this information, it is likely to be common knowledge. But when in doubt, definitely you have to give citation. No need to cite when you are discussing your own experiences, observations, or reactions. Compiling the results of your original research from science experiments, etc., there is no need of citing. You are using common knowledge. That time also there is no need of citations. Just like internet is helping you in getting the literature that you need, it also helps the authorities to check whether you have copied or you have plagiarized content in your research work. There are many softwares to check similarity in the academic writing. Such software detect the extent of similarity in your research reports. Some of them are Authenticate, Turnitin, and Urkund. The earlier presentation might have given you some idea about what plagiarism is and how we can avoid it. I will explain it in little more detail. I will also explain in detail how we can use MS Word for citations and references, which will help in a big way to avoid the blame of plagiarism. When you take content from other researchers or other authors, you do it in 3 formats. You copy it as such without any change in the wordings, then it is called as verbatim copying. Sometimes you read the content, assimilate it, you understand what it is, then write it in your own language. That is called as paraphrasing. The third option is you read the entire content, understand the meaning, then write it in a summarized format, which is called summarizing. So these are the three methods by which you adopt content from other sources. In all these three cases, you have to be very careful to do certain things so that people should not say you have plagiarized. First method, I'll just tell what you have to do in the case of a verbatim copy. If you are doing verbatim copy, what you have to do is provide inverted commas in the beginning and at the end of the text. Beginning and end of the text you have to provide inverted commas, double inverted commas. And then at the end you have to provide citation details, year of publication along with the first name of the author, last name of the author. But remember, if the number of words in that quotation is below 39, that means up to 39, you can continue with the running text. You need not do anything. You can just continue up to 39 words. Whereas if it is going beyond 39 words, you have to make it a block quote. Block quote in the sense it should be away from the margin, 0.5 inches from the margin. It should be kept separately as a block, separate block. There also you have to put inverted commas in the beginning as well as at the end. Then citation and references are required. This is how you have to manage verbatim copy. Whereas if you are paraphrasing something, you need not put inverted commas. But what you have to do is you have to provide citation details, in text citation. At the end of the quote, you have to provide citation with the name of the author and year of publication. That is the usual pattern. Sometimes numbered style also is there, doesn't matter. Same is the number of words is not an issue. It can be any number. But because you are paraphrasing it, even in summarizing also it is the same. You need not provide any sort of inverted commas or anything. But you have to provide citation because you are taking content, the idea from somebody else. In these cases, this is the way to avoid plagiarism. Avoid the blame of plagiarism. Now another issue is whether the common knowledge has to be cited and reference has to be provided. Common knowledge. For example, Gandhiji is the father of India. It's a common knowledge for everyone. Like that, many things are there. So how will you ensure that it is common knowledge? If some 3 to 4 sources it is mentioned the same way, you can believe that it is an accepted knowledge. But if you are in a confusion that you do not know whether it is common knowledge or not, I advise you it is better to provide citation and references. Now these are the methods whereby you have to provide citation and references. But another problem is there. You have to format your references according to a particular style. Internationally accepted styles. You know about APA, American Psychological Association, Modern Language Association, all these styles are there. So in such a case, what you can do is, you have to automate the process of inserting citation and bibliography. This is possible. Even with MS Word, this is possible. So in this session, what I am going to do is, I am going to give some minimum training on how to use MS Word for citations and creating a bibliography in a research report. Please see what I am doing. Okay, let us start using MS Word. Here I have written an article with the title Information Literacy and Learning. In this, in the first paragraph, you can see some text I have colored red. This text I have actually copied from another article without much changes. It means without any changes. So it is called as verbatim copy, but the number of words here are below 40. So what we can do is we can write it along with the text, along with the running text. You need not make it into a block code. Whereas below here there is a paragraph. It is also verbatim copy, means without any changes I have copied from another source, but it is above 40 words. Here another paragraph I have taken from a source document, which after reading I understood the content and then I wrote it in my own language. It is called paraphrased content. Here there is another paragraph which I have read the entire content of another source document and then I wrote it in my own language. It's called summarized content. So this way you can have 4 types of content taken from other sources. Now we have to tell this system that these are the sources from where I have taken this content. For that, what you have to do is you have to go to References tab. There you can see a set of commands, citations and bibliography. There is something called Manage Sources, Style, Bibliography and Insert Citations. 4 command buttons are there. Out of that, you have to click on Manage Sources. When you click, a dialog box comes. So here, what you have to do is click on the New button, because this dialog box is called Source Manager. In this, you have to click on the New button. So here, the type of source will be listed like this in a drop-down menu. Out of that, you have to select the appropriate item. For example, in this case, the first item what I wanted to include is a journal article. So select journal articles. Now here you have to add the names of authors. So for example, if I wanted to add them, it is better to add using this edit button. It's very easy. Here it will ask the last name, first name and middle name of the author. So here I am typing my name. My last name is Gopakumar and my first name is V, and then click add. Along with me there was my guide also who has helped me in writing the article, so I am putting his name also, Baradol, and his first name is A and middle name is K, and that also we have to add. So both of them have come here. Here you can see Gopakumar, comma V, which we have not given, but Baradol, comma AK. Now click OK. You can see that both of them have come here with an with a semicolon. It has come there between the 2 names. There is a semicolon, which we have not done, but the software has done it. Now here we have to give the title of the article. So it is Information Literacy among the librarians in academic institutions of Mangalore city, a survey. This was the title of the article and it appeared in the journal, Indian Journal of Academic Librarianship, and it was in the year 2014, and pages, it appeared in the pages 123 to 128. But here there is a problem. For a journal article you have to have volume number and issue number, so it is not visible here. So what you have to do is, here there is an option, show all bibliography. When you click it, it will show below. You can just scroll down, you can see volume number and issue number. So volume number was 23, issue number was 4. So these are enough for a journal article. All those information what we have entered is enough to describe a journal article. You can click on the OK button. So it has been saved there. Now I have to enter the details of a book which we have used in citing the article. So I will just click on the new button. I will come to book. Here name of the author. Again I have to put my name. I have just put Gopakumar and first name is V. Click add and click OK. So it comes there. Now title of the book is Distance Learning Library Services, and it was published in the year 2016. It was published in New Delhi by today and publishers. That's enough. For a book, these details are enough, and click OK. So that also has been added there. Now if you want to have a conference proceeding added, what you have to do, click on the new button, again go for conference proceedings. Here you can put the names of authors. Again I am putting my name, Gopakumar, name we add, then the co-author's name I have added, and click OK. So this way the author's names have come. Now here I am trying to add the names of information literacy requirements for academic librarians, and it appeared in the conference proceeding volume in page number 234 to 239, and it was the conference was in the year 2011. Name of the conference was Caliber 2011. It happened in Panaji, Goa, and the publisher is Sage Publishers. So this way you have to give the details of the book volume of the conference, and then click OK. That also will get saved. Now we will go for one more item, part of a book. So here, yeah, book section. It is called as book section. Again, you can give the names of authors. I'm just typing the name of my guide, Baradu, his first name, his last name, and add. I am putting another name, first name, and click OK. So these two people have written an article on information literacy and training, and the book author who has authored the total book, the bigger book who has authored. So I will say my name, sorry, I will use the edit button only, again Gopakumar B. So I have edited the book in which they have written the article. That is the meaning of it. Click add and click OK. Now title of the book, Libraries of the New Age. Here it was in 2018, pages 145 to 149, and it was published in Mumbai by Sage Publishers. This way you can add the details of that book also. So like this you can add any number of books or details of the books or the journal articles, conference proceedings, even e-documents which are available from the internet, and after that you can close it. Now all these are saved in the system. It has to be used for citations and references one by one. So here you can see this is verbatim copying, but the number of words are below 40. What you have to do is, first you have to put inverted commas here. In the beginning you have to put an inverted comma, and so at the end you have to put an inverted comma. Then you have to put the citation, in text citation. For that you have to go to, your cursor should be here only. Go to insert citation, find out where is this is the document. Click on that. You can see that citation has come. Only thing is the title also appears there, but what you can do is click here, edit citation, and suppress the title. Click OK. Now you can see that the name of author and year of publication has been inserted there. Similarly, come here. In this paragraph, it is verbatim copying, but the number of words are more than 40. So as I told you earlier, it has to be away from the left margin. So what you have to do, go to home, go to paragraph, increase the left margin, this indent as 0.05. So you can see that it has come to this side. Now here you have to provide in the beginning and end, you have to provide inverted commas, and then you have to go for citations. So what you have to do, go to references, click on insert citation, say it is from this particular book. You can see that it has appeared, Baradol and Anuradha. It has come there. Now here there is another paraphrased content. As I told you, there is no need for inverted commas in the case of paraphrased content. You can directly insert the citation. Click, go for this one. So again here the title appears. You can just go to edit citation, suppress title and click OK. So it will go. Now one more item is there at the end. So this is again summarize the content. As I told you, there is no need for inverted commas, just citation only this time. This is the last one. So here also it appears. You can edit citation and then suppress title, click OK. So this way you can insert all the in-text citation. You can see here 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we have inserted the citations properly, but that is not enough, because by looking at that you won't get the full details. All the details like published, who has published it, when was it published, and in which pages it appeared, all those things are available in the reference details. So you have to insert the bibliography. So type, you can just go to a new page or something like that, and then here click on the bibliography and bibliography. You can see that the entire bibliography is placed just below the text. So nicely it has come up, and the style that has been followed is APA style, American Psychological Association style. Now your guide says no, I don't want this particular style, you change to MLA. Don't worry, click on this and find out whether MLA style is there or not. Yes, it is there. You can click on that. Everything got changed. Very quickly you can change. Later on somebody says no, you go for a numbered style. Click here. You can see that there is numerical reference. So everything comes. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and here also you can see 4, 3, 2, 1. So the numbered style appears like this. So this way you can easily manage your references. Any number of references can be inserted and you can create the bibliography. Later on, see if at all you make changes in this. For example, if you click here, you go to one particular item, edit and change this year of publication as 2012. In the case of information literacy requirements of academic librarians, click OK. You say yes and then close. Now see, it has to be updated here. So when you click here there is an option update citations and bibliography. It was in the case of in this particular book, I think. In this 2011 we have changed it as 2012. So let us click here. You can see that 11 has changed to 2012. So if at all you made a mistake, you can easily change it into a different style. Again, I am changing back to APA style, so it looks nice. This is how you can manage your references using in MS Word itself. Okay, I think you are able to understand what. Thank you.